Boom shakalaka!
Irving fakes, drives, James on the throwdown.
Geeks and gamers, Sports Wars community, what is up? I'm your host, Pat, better known as the Mayor of Oakland. We are back here with our infamous Sports Wars podcast. How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing good. Glad to be back on the podcast, ready to talk some more shit.
All right. As you guys can see, that is my right-hand man, Roy. We are also being joined by Brandon and David LaRock. Brandon and David, how are you guys feeling?
I'm here. I'm ready to get in this. Ready to enjoy talking about the finals and ready for football season as well.
Ichi.
Yeah, David, I see. Is that the bedroom or is that the original Brady Shrine? It looks a little bit.
Combination of both. So I actually convert. Well, normally I'm over on the right side.
Okay.
So yeah, but so it's actually the guest room / Brady Shrine. So if you ever have to spend the night at my house, you literally have to do the holy water before you enter.
Oh shit, dude! I'll stay in a Holiday Inn.
If and when I do chill over there, yeah, I'm probably just gonna put up either Katie or Curry next to that Brady thing to kind of ward off and balance it all, so that I don't, lose my mind.
I'm gonna buy a David Tyree jersey to hang up.
They still make them?
I'll find one.
Dude's a high school coach, I believe.
There's worse things that you could be doing after your career. Anyway, folks, we got a decent amount to get into. It is early June. For those of you who are joining us from the YouTube audience, the videos and just the various reactions I've been doing and that Jeremy has been doing, we are definitely going to be getting into these finals in a little bit. But for those of you who are here, who are dedicated and loyal members of our Sports Wars community on Facebook, you know that one of our favorite occasions is our unpopular opinion post. And for the first time ever, we're actually going to use that as the interactive element of our show and get into some of the unpopular opinions that really stood out to us this last week. Now, first things up, we're going to be taking things out into the AFC West and pose the question to the panel, do the Los Angeles Chargers indeed have the best overall top-to-bottom roster in the American Football Conference? You have Joey Bosa, you have Melvin Gordon, you have Ingram. You have a ton of talented guys on that roster that I deal with twice a year. And at the helm of it all, you have Phillip Rivers, who, in the minds of many, is a future Hall of Famer. How do we feel about the statement that the Chargers have the best set of 52 guys in their respective conference? Let's go ahead and start with David.
Why do I go first?
Because we haven't seen you in a while.
Because we know you're going to pick this bullshit apart.
I mean, just because playing devil's advocate, I'll say no and say Houston. But I mean, theoretically, if Henry doesn't get injured, they were my pick to win the division. They probably gone 12-4, 11-5. They have the skill position players. They got a running, Gordon. The O-line was fixed last year. The D-line is comparable to Jacksonville. Now, they might not get the numbers, but the pressures are there. Their secondary's loaded. Who did they get in the draft from FSU? He's like the Swiss Army knife. I mean, you can just plug and play him anywhere. But to play devil's advocate, I mean, you can say Houston. If Watson comes back, granted, they don't really have a running game, but I will take their wide receivers over the Chargers. I think their front seven is better than the Chargers, barring everybody healthy. But, I mean, that's a solid statement saying the Chargers have the best talent level 1 through 52.
Roy?
I like I almost called them San Diego too. Fuck that, the San Diego Chargers. I like their. I do like their defense. They do have lots of talent there. I love the addition of Derwin James because as Bosa and Ingram are going to be rushing that quarterback, there's going to be lots of ducks thrown up, and Ingram and James gets to play center field. So it's going to be very nice for him. They've also got the was it Barrett, the one that led the league in interceptions.
Yeah.
So I mean, their secondary solid, linebacker solid. I will agree about their defense. The offense just cannot stay healthy. Rivers has been there the entire time. Gordon missed some games. I mean, every time you turn around, one of their wide receivers is going down. Wasn't the kid they just drafted last year? He missed significant time.
Yeah.
The year before that, it was Keenan Allen. I mean, I don't know. They need to fire their fucking their health staff or something, like their doctors or something. Something is going on there. I don't know if I'd call them the most talented top to bottom. Definitely the defense. I'll give the defense that, but I do agree that Phillip Rivers is definitely more than likely, more possibly than not, a Hall of Famer.
You didn't answer the question at all.
Are they the best best roster from top to bottom? No, their defense is, not the whole thing.
So who's the whole thing?
I don't know that anyone has the
in
best.
AFC.
You're not going to get me to fucking say it.
No, don't.
You're I don't know, the best offense. I mean, dude, God damn it, Xavier's gonna fucking laugh his balls off at this one. I think Pittsburgh's offense is very solid. I mean, anytime you have Le'Veon Bell, who's arguably the best wide receiver or best running back, and arguably the best wide receiver, Antonio Brown, with Ben Roethlisberger, that offense is very good. But we can all agree
that the defense is trash.
The defense is terrible.
So you're not answering the question.
Who's the best top to bottom? There is no. I mean, like
you have you have to rank them.
I mean, if I like
the point of the question.
No, I mean no. The point of the question was San Diego the best top to bottom? No, they're not.
Well, then who is?
That's your question. This is a two-parter. Like we taking like.
Well, I mean, you can't be like.
Let's let Brandon win.
Yeah, let Brandon answer and come back to me. Come back to me.
Specifically, whether or not San Diego is the best.
Okay, so San Diego, Los Angeles, whatever you want to call them, defense hands down. Honestly, they have a lot of talent on that defense, and it's probably one of the best. As far as top 52 roster on the AFC side, no. I said it last year. I'll say it again this year. Other than Blake Bortles, I'll give it 51-man roster. It belongs to Jacksonville.
Are you serious with that?
Yes, I'm serious with that, David.
Their wide receiver core is trash now.
Okay, so you have Marquise Lee.
That's your number one option?
You have D.D. Westbrook.
D.D. Westbrook.
David, let him finish.
David's going to have an aneurysm.
Wide receiving core out there. They have possibilities. Obviously, they still have to prove themselves. I know that. You know that. Everybody on this panel knows that. But as far as 1-2 punch, you have Fournette, you have Ivory. Their front seven is one of the best out there. I think it does come down to Blake Bortles, but as far as with the Chargers, I've never had 100% confidence in Phillip Rivers. Keenan Allen, if I could put him anywhere else in the league, I would send his ass to, at least the team. I would send him to New England, just so that way he'd have a chance for a ring, because he would be phenomenal with Brady. Sorry, but call it like it is.
He's phenomenal now with Rivers. I mean, the question was top to bottom 1 through 52. Now, granted, each team's going to have holes. But Jacksonville?
I mean, it's better.
I don't think there's
a 100% offense with New England and having no fucking defense with New England.
Hey, I get it. That's why we didn't throw him up there.
at least we come to a middle ground on that one.
I think that the difference between Pittsburgh's offense and San Diego, like the holes that Pittsburgh's defense has. Like San Diego not being able to stay healthy bugs me on offense. Their defense clearly head and shoulders above their offense. But I mean, the difference between the two rosters when all 52 top to bottom is negligible. To me, it's not that big. I mean, Pittsburgh obviously was a division winner. They looked past Jacksonville, got eliminated, whereas their Chargers didn't even make the playoffs. So, I mean, injuries hurt them for me. It's hard for me to pick one team that's clear, like head and shoulders above everybody else in the AFC, just because of that. I mean, of course, I love the talent on the Chargers defense. I don't love the talent in Pittsburgh, but the talent's there. So, I mean.
Well, in that retrospect, you are semi-right. I agree with – I'd honestly put Houston above Pittsburgh. You have Deshaun Watson, who create plays with his legs.
Wait, you put Houston above Pittsburgh for offense?
Yes, 100%.
Interesting.
I don't have confidence in Le'Veon Bell this season. I don't have him. I don't
versus Lamar Miller.
That's just me. No, Le'Veon Bell. I don't have him being.
No, I'm saying you don't have confidence in him. So you got more confidence that Lamar Miller is going to have a better year?
No, I have more confidence in the offensive schemes that are run in Houston versus what's run in Pittsburgh. You have a brand new offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh.
It's going to be the same guy. It's going to be the same guy calling the plays that's called for the last 15 years. It's going to be Roethlisberger. I mean, sure, there's going to be a dude sending in shit, but Roethlisberger is going to be like, oh, no, we're running this. And it's still going to be throw to AB, hand off to Le'Veon. I mean.
You think Bell's not going to be a top 15 running back?
No.
I think you guys stand to have some very raucous debate on Cover 3.
It's going to be fun.
So, in any case, gents, and that was a little bit more fiery than I was expecting. Transitioning over to the NFC West, kind of staying within the same region of the U.S. here. Stephen Wilkes, the new coach of the Arizona Cardinals, has been raving about the prospect of Josh Rosen. Some pundits are claiming that this kid was the most pro-ready prospect going into the draft, and now in lieu of him tearing up OTAs, they're saying, could he possibly be the best quarterback from this year's draft? I'm going to go ahead and start with Roy.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, there was talk of him going first overall, but then the rumors started spreading about, he doesn't like football, which is dumb as shit to me. If you go over all the quarterbacks that were drafted in that little pocket there, Baker to Cleveland, Sam Darnold to the Jets, Josh Allen to the Bills, Rosen obviously has the most talent. I mean, he's got obviously the best wide receiver out of that bunch with Fitzgerald, and probably the best running back if he comes back healthy with David Johnson. So, I mean, he's got the help there. It's just a matter of new coach and that offensive line keeping him upright. I mean, he definitely has the weapons to do it. I don't think that's too bad of a stretch. It's just going to be a matter of how fast he picks it up. Okay,
that's fair. Brandon?
So, in regards to Josh Rosen, he very much comes across to me as a spoiled little bitch. And that even down to sitting out the final bowl game, and then when he gets drafted 9th, he says every other team before him made a mistake. I don't disregard his talent, though, but I still honestly believe that the person who's going to come out of this whole situation better as far as rookie quarterbacks goes, I still think it's going to be Baker. And just because Baker can take a hit, Josh Rosen can't. And it's evident with him playing in UCLA. He took a hit against USC last year that it looked suspect, and he sat out for the rest of the game. So I have no faith in this kid as far as his charismatic wise.
I mean,
his physicality, and I'm gonna let you get back in, Roy. His physicality and his kind of the slim nature of his build seems to, for me, being an outsider looking in terms of not really keeping up with college a whole lot, it seems like that was the most consistent knock on him. David, how do you feel about him?
I mean, the best part of the question was you said he's really killing it in OTAs. Like that's fucking fantastic. That's like being the short kid on the smartest kid on the short bus, right? Killing it.
Wow.
Quarterback all depends upon the system and the players around you.
We can agree that obviously of the 4 quarterbacks drafted, Rosen, Mayfield, and Mayfield's got a little talent around him, but we got to see how that works out. Let's see, Rosen, Allen, Mayfield, and Darnold. Rosen's got the best wide receiver.
For now. I mean, Fitzgerald's what, 42?
I mean, 86 and still catching the ball like he's 23.
Hey, eventually.
And then Johnson was, hell, before he went down, he was a top 3 fantasy pick. Am I right? Yep. Fantasy football guy?
Yep.
So,
one of the first ones off the board last year.
Yep.
So, I'm assuming so, but you don't really know until it's like week 8 and you're thrown in there. And
I don't understand holding the cockiness against him. Where if you're holding the cockiness against Rosen, but everybody was praising kind of Baker being cocky. I remember hearing a story about a 6th round quarterback that told his owner that this was the best decision they ever fucking made.
Right.
Tom Brady told that shit the day he was drafted. Like, dude, you're a 6th round quarterback. Go get your fucking clipboard. You're gonna wait this out. And
go get me some fucking coffee while you're at it.
Yeah, who the fuck are you? And now Kraft is obviously, yes, Mr. Brady. Can I get you your Mr. Brady?
Wait.
Okay, why is this flip back on? Like,
what I'm saying is, you can't hold the cockiness. I'm sure Rosen may have. The kid had a chip on his shoulder. He wanted to be the first or second.
All quarterbacks have a chip on their shoulder.
True. So why hold? I don't understand holding these 9 teams made a mistake. Dude, only 3 of those teams drafted a damn quarterback. Hakuna your tatas. Like, sit the fuck down.
Hell, it could be Lamar Jackson. Who fucking knows?
I don't think Lamar Jackson
go there
next year, but that's a whole other topic. But he could be.
Yeah, Big Ben wasn't the only AFC North quarterback who wasn't exactly satisfied with his team picking a potential
has Flacco
successor.
Returned Lamar's calls yet? Like,
I don't think Flacco has probably opened his DMs in a solid 2 or 3 years.
Nobody's cashing his checks, though.
Yeah, he's cashing the shit out of them checks.
And look.
Somebody just sent his ass that Bleacher Report of the Gridiron Gang where they said Flacco's not elite.
Well, he's probably seen it, but he doesn't quite have the rabbit ears that my boy KD does.
No, he's
in any case,
he's in Instagram holding the money stacks up against his ears because he can't hear anybody talk shit.
And to kind of round out the totality of our unpopular opinions here, some of the comparisons in terms of character and personality that Josh Rosen has been catching is that he's got a little bit of, condescension in his personality. And that, coincidentally enough, is a trait that a lot of people throw at the bad man, Aaron Rodgers. Now, this one is a little bit more of a vague statement, but you could kind of get into the nitty-gritty of it, which is why I wanted us to talk about it. Have the Packers truly squandered the prime of Aaron Rodgers? David, I know he's one of your favorite people, so go ahead and round us off.
It's not a fair statement for the fact it is extremely, extremely hard to get to a Super Bowl. The talent can be around you, and either a simple turnover play, an injury. Yeah, it could be numerous things, and you don't get there. Now, do they put all the pieces around him to help him succeed as well as maybe another team? Probably not. But again, when you own a team, when they have a team and there's no owner, so there's no dude in a suit with the pressure down on the GM saying, hey, we need to do this. It is a publicly owned team. So they flounder. They really don't make a big splash in free agency. They trade down. It came so bad where Clay Matthews, I guess, in the offseason was like, yeah, our linebacker depth is awful. Like, you can't have players commenting on upper management shit. That's an issue. So, they let Jordy go, but that's because Adam stepped up. There's...
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's unfortunate, but it is super hard to get to a Super Bowl. And he's been to one.
It's even harder to get to the Super Bowl when your front office doesn't give a fuck. They don't sign free agents. It was the last significant free agent they signed that stayed with them longer than a year.
Longer than a year?
Charles Woodson, maybe.
Yeah.
We're not going to count Bennett last year, and I'm damn sure not counting Graham. Not yet, at least. Their idea of a big splash in free agency is a tight end.
Yeah.
And this is they've drafted Adams, they drafted Nelson, they drafted Cobb, who left, and then people realized he wasn't shit, and he got cut and came back. This is that was James Jones. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They don't give him help. They don't sign free agents. They don't. They had a wide receiver playing fucking running back, for God's sakes, and
he was damn good though.
But they can't tell me that there was no better options available in free agency. Their running backs are literally getting cut every single fucking day, and Montgomery served his purpose, but Green Bay does not sign free agents. They stick their quarterbacks out there, whether it's Brett Favre, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, and just more or less throw them to the wolves, and whatever happens, be damned. Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre just happened to, at the same time, get hot in the playoffs and make a run. And Aaron Rodgers will forever have to hear how Aaron Rodgers is always one of the greats ever played. Aaron Rodgers is Steve Young 2.0. That's it. Great stats. Fun to watch, but will most likely be wasted. And Steve Young's case, he was wasted because he just happened to run into that Cowboys dynasty that was fucking steamrolling everything. And in Aaron Rodgers' case, he's wasted because Green Bay just will not spend money. And the players the best players on our team right now, the top three players, arguably who are the top three players? Aaron Rodgers, Clay Matthews, Clinton Dix.
Clinton Dix.
Every single one of them drafted by the Packers. Every single one, not a single free agent.
Which is good because to be a playoff team, you do have to grow organically.
You have to have a balance.
You do have to have a balance.
And there's no balance in Green Bay. If you're not drafted by them, fuck you. And they don't sign anybody. They've wasted Aaron Rodgers. And it's as a Falcons fan, it's fucking great to me.
Brandon, I'm curious to your sentiments on this because there's kind of an interesting dynamic between you and Green Bay.
Yes. So in regards to this, I've said it multiple times. David, you are well aware of this. So 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, if you all remember, Green Bay ended up, splitting ways with their quarterback coach, who was a great friend of Aaron Rodgers. And they let him know by text message. After that, you then cut his best friend on the team, who had the utmost confidence in him when he came in, and that is Jordy Nelson, and sent him packing to Oakland. You're talking about not extending Randall Cobb's contract, who is his other boy. All of these things yes, you went out and got Jimmy Graham, but like you guys said, they don't fucking pay free agents. I've had an issue with that with them for years. In retrospect, all of that, Rodgers still wants to be there because of McCarthy. Now, if it ever comes to be to a point, because a lot of people don't know this, Aaron Rodgers was about ready to leave Green Bay about 3 years ago when Mike McCarthy was not calling offensive shots on that field. So when he wasn't calling those plays, Rodgers said, I'm going to bench myself, and you find you a quarterback that's going to do something. Hence why they went and signed Brett Hundley from the draft. Rodgers
who they didn't they just trade?
Yeah.
Yeah, just traded him and got, who was it?
Deshaun throw up a duck Kaiser.
Kaiser.
Yes. Because obviously they think that's a better prospect. No. So Rodgers is about a foot and a half out the door. Only Randall Cobb is keeping him in place. They have wasted so much time and effort.
So here's a question for you, Brandon. I know you were just mentioning about him and McCarthy being close. If the Packers miss the playoffs this year, which
it's a possibility.
It's a definite possibility. Minnesota,
they're not winning that division.
No, Minnesota's going to boat race that ass. If they don't make the playoffs, not just 9-7, say they go like 6-10, is McCarthy out the door? And if McCarthy's out the door, knowing how unhappy that Rodgers was, do they just say fuck it on this extension that they're talking about, or
how big's the checkbook?
I mean, apparently one of the little side story I heard, one of the person that was most relieved about Matt Ryan signing his extension was fucking Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and throw in this caveat. And this is a blurb from NFL Network, not even 2 hours ago, guys. Apparently, as of today, Rodgers is seeking a new contract specifically with an opt-out clause. He has 2 years remaining on his current deal, but the next deal is going to have this option for him to basically take off his gloves.
I mean, if you're Green Bay,
clap his hands and leave. If
you're Green Bay and he's got 2 years on his contract, why would you negotiate right now?
Lower cap hit.
Yep.
For what? They're not going to sign anybody?
Hang on. They've got $13 million, 13 and change to play with right now. So to answer your first question, yes, if McCarthy, if they don't make playoffs, McCarthy is on the hot seat. I don't know that he is fired. It would really put him worse than what Marvin Lewis should have been 3 years ago.
Dude, Marvin Lewis is in like Jeff Fisher territory right now.
Exactly. So to that point, even if they don't fire McCarthy and he is put on the hot seat, Aaron Rodgers, he wants it to be an in-game where the Packers push him out so that way he doesn't have to make it look like he's the asshole, because from all reports that I'm seeing, he doesn't want to stay in the NFC North by any means, but his talent he feels is wasted here, and he would rather go somewhere like Dallas. He wants to be where the TV, the merchandise, everything is. He honestly would love to go to our favorite team up north whenever Brady retires. So he wants to be recognized rather than just be in Green Bay, where the entire fucking city owns that team, rather than somebody coming in with a fucking balls to make a damn decision.
That's what I understand is that they're going to save money.
Yeah, I mean, this
seems like buying new nacho cheese dispensers and fucking Lambo. Like, what are they doing with this shit?
I mean, this whole thing, it kind of relates to what my overall rhetoric about that situation has been for a while now. But, the caveat that it is the only publicly owned team in the league is significant. I mean, these guys have a stadium that was built, when was it, like the 30s or 40s? But instead of taking all of the revenue and equity that they do have, because the Packers are a very popular, very valuable team despite being in a small market, they basically built the shell of a new stadium around the old one. So that right there gives you insight into what the difference of mentality is between, like you guys say, a team that has an owner and an owner with an agenda who wants things done in a certain way and within a certain time frame, going to the GM, going to the coach, going to a front office and be like, okay, if you guys don't get this shit together in a season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, I'm going to fucking fire you. In Green Bay, that's not the case.
Yeah,
I feel like not just Rodgers, but a lot of these kids who are nebulous draft picks there, who go in and don't really have a chance to truly develop and showcase their talents so that they can go and have a prominent career elsewhere. It's almost like the whole roster is kind of getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what they did to Micah Hyde. And in terms of the Janis kid that just got released, he's another one that could possibly flourish. Although I think he went to Miami. So I don't know how well that's going to go. And kind of what you said, Pat, here's a fun fact for you, Roy. Do you know that Thomas Dimitroff was fixing to head to fucking Green Bay so that way he would have nobody overhead of him? Right before Atlanta signed him.
It's a good job to have. No balls.
No boss.
Yeah, no balls.
Yes.
I mean, it sucks for the players because there's no one that you can be like, there's nobody you can call out. I mean, if Jerry Jones was doing a shittier job, I mean, Dez would have had no problem calling his ass out. There's no man behind the curtain. I mean, in Atlanta, you got Arthur Blank, and in New England, you got Kraft. Dallas has got Jerry. There's no singular face there in Green Bay, and I mean, if it wasn't for them more or less having Rodgers fall in their fucking lap, they would have been nothing since once Favre left. I mean, the luck of the draw there.
Yeah, I put it to you I'll put it to you guys like this. It's like David says, if Harrison Smith and Sendejo and Xavier Rhodes knocking the shit out of your skill players twice a year doesn't get the message across, I don't know what will.
I don't see Rodgers' incentive to resign. Like
Cash money, baby.
I mean, he can get that literally anywhere.
Who is the cap though?
Somebody will make the moves to get Aaron Rodgers. If Brady became a free agent tomorrow, you don't think some team would sell out? You don't think some GM would sell his own kids on the black market to shake his couch cushions to make this happen?
Lil Rock, to answer your question, there is one team that can make the cap room, and they are contemplating it prior to the season if Luck doesn't come back.
That's possible. Well, yeah, because Luck's already under contract, so you cut that, and that pretty much fills the puzzle piece.
Yeah, because I think that Luck, I think most of the players pre or post 2012 have it in their contract.
Would he really
miss more than 1 year?
I mean, are the Colts really that much of an upgrade?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, sure, there's a face to the ownership.
I mean,
no, because if he goes, Randall Cobb goes. You don't. Okay, so most people look at Randall Cobb. Yes, he's getting older. He's lost his speed. I'm telling you, this man is still in possession. He still knows what the hell he's doing. You combine him with T.Y. Hilton, and you have Rodgers.
Who's a running back in Indianapolis?
Frank Gore.
Marlon Mack.
No, he left.
Gore's in Miami.
Gore's in Miami.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Mack.
Shit.
Marlon Mack, and he's going to be, if he stays healthy, he's going to be a very good running back.
Instead of getting chased down by Minnesota's defense in those purple uniforms, he's gonna get chased down by Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt and that insane Jacksonville defense 4 times a year. Like, dude, you better go invest in a fucking like adamantium collarbone for this shit because he's going to need it playing in AFC South.
Yeah, and throwing against the independent woman Jalen Ramsey would be a pain in the ass too. In any case, fellas, and as always, football is a lot of fun because we talk about too much fucking football. We're gonna go ahead and transition over to
go football.
Our other favorite topic.
Yeah, our other favorite topic. This cat in Cleveland is playing against this team down the road in Oakland or whatever. You may have heard of either or. No, I'm bullshitting. YouTube audience, I know you guys have been waiting for this, for the response to the original video I put out a few days ago. So now I'm going to go ahead and pose this question to the panel. And guys, this is free form. You can approach this pretty much however you want. Is the Cavaliers versus the Warriors back to back to back to back, quote unquote, bad for the league? David, let's see what you have to say. No.
Like, they're the 2 best teams. Fix it. Like, if you're tired of seeing Golden State, beat them. I mean, I don't know how else. In the CBA and free agency and drafting, I don't know what you're supposed to do to get tired of them being there. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful to watch with the ball movement. I mean, what Clef is doing, Curry is on another level. And it just sucks that LeBron has no help. But he has no help because of him, but that's a different story. I mean, I don't know how you fix it. I don't know why it's bad. I mean, do folks get tired of seeing Alabama every year in the title? I mean, granted, I don't watch it. But
some will tell you yes.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. I mean, are the people in the Western Conference getting sick of seeing Golden State because they're getting their teeth kicked in? Sure. I don't see a problem with it because it's the best team there. You remove the logo and put it on, the Clippers logo, it's going to be the same thing. I don't know how you fix it.
Roy?
I mean, you have the best team in the league versus the best player in the league. I mean, I don't understand what the problem is, and the ratings also say otherwise. Last year obviously was the third straight matchup of the Warriors and the Cavs. The overall head-to-head series at that point was split 1-1, and we all know that Golden State took last year. They averaged over 20 million viewers in the series, in a 5-game series. The one before that, where it went 7 games, they averaged over 20 million. This is some of the highest-rated finals in almost 20 years, since 2001.
Yeah, that would be Apex Lakers.
So yeah, and that's Shaq in his prime with young Kobe.
I'm sorry, stars draw TV viewers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Space League.
Do you think the ratings would be better with fucking Milwaukee versus San Antonio? No. I mean, I'm sure that the league would like for they would like to trade the entire Golden State roster to the Lakers and trade the entire Cleveland roster to either Chicago or New York. That would be dream scenario, just because they can have the Knicks and Lakers or Lakers and Bulls meet every year.
So that they can have the massive metropolitan markets going at it instead of Oakland versus Cleveland.
Small markets. I mean, Oakland and Cleveland, technically, quote-unquote, small markets. I mean, I don't see the only people who are bored by this are people who just don't like basketball. I mean, who are looking for any reason to shit on basketball. This is the best team, Curry, Clay, Dre, KD, versus LeBron, who's been the best player in the league for 15 years. I mean, it's not even like, what's the other premier matchup? Would people have rather seen Boston, Brad Stevens, and the Celtics daycare take on Golden State and get the shit blown out of them? I mean, that would have been it would have been an interesting matchup. it would have been an interesting matchup. Best team in the league versus best coach in the league. Could have been fun. But Brad Stevens ain't taking jump shots out there. The kids still have to make the shots.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is
Brandon, where's your head at?
So I'm kind of one and the same with these guys. It's not bad for the league. Call it what you will. Golden State, albeit I'm biased because I'm a Curry fan, but Golden State has proven their worth. They've proven that they deserve to be there. LeBron has proven his worth and that he deserves to be there. I mean, this is his 8th straight finals. Isn't that right, Roy?
Yeah.
8 straight finals.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's proved that he deserves to be there. Granted, every year he's got a new squad. He's got a new shiny toy that can help him out, or he's got no one like he does this year, other than the real MVP, which I'm looking at you, J.R. Smith. But
yeah, we're going to get into that.
In regards to the bad for the NBA, I mean, New England's there almost every year. NFL's ratings are still up. As far as baseball, it just recently changed. Other than that, it was the Giants every year. It happens to be that the best teams that are actually dedicated to making the best rosters usually are the ones who supersede everybody else. So all this bullshit is just whatever.
Somebody tell Adam Silver that this is bad for the league as he's cashing all them fucking TV checks.
Oh, God.
Yeah, multi-billion-dollar TV deals prior to this.
He had 18.5 million viewers just off Game 1 alone.
Yeah, I mean, it's what draws. It's the best team. And it's ironic to me that the roles have flip-flopped since the first meeting. In the first meeting, LeBron was kind of the villain, and Golden State was this young, up-and-coming, the underdogs.
Baby face.
Yeah, they were the baby faces. And then that second year, and LeBron makes this big comeback, and it's great, and that kind of shift that started to shift things. And then that third year when KD signed, and they're still kind of fresh, but he still had people kind of not liking KD because of it. And now this year, they've kind of Golden State's kind of taken on more of a villainous role. I mean, because KD's just doesn't give a fuck at this point, and they're shimmy.
Yeah. I think what's really at the core of this being a tangible talking point and topic within the media over the last week and a half or so is that, to Roy's point, we're kind of at a point where you could make an argument that both of the involved combatants in this matchup have a villainous role about them. Like, they're both polarizing in the sense that you think they're the bad guy. Whereas in a lot of those other iconic matchups, you know, Michael Jordan versus whoever, obviously Michael Jordan was the hero, the opposing team was the bad guy. The Shaq and Kobe Lakers, they were a fun, exciting team that reminded people of Showtime, reminded people of the glitz and glamour of LA. So that kind of made them the good guys because they were fun, and whoever the hell the opponent was bad. Here, I feel like a lot of people feel like both teams involved and the figures involved there within are something other than the good guy.
Yeah. And it just depends on your perspective. I know LaRock shared a video earlier that apparently has gone viral of the end of regulation with LeBron sitting on the bench. It is like, as a LeBron fan, it is fucking heartbreaking to watch. I watched that video, went to the YouTube comments just because I was expecting like, oh, that's what you get, fucker. There was more comments of people going, man, I feel so fucking bad for LeBron. Like, I'd never. Usually,
it's tangible.
If you select 10 comments from a YouTube video that has anything to do with LeBron, there's at least 2 to 3 in there. They're like, oh, fuck La bitch or La flop or bronze sexuals or fuck his hairline or fuck the decision. Yeah. Or there's at least a couple in there. Every one of these videos.
And that's overlooking some of the racist bile that tends to be there, too.
Yeah. And this video, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's tough to watch. LeBron is, I mean, for lack of a better way to put it, LeBron checked out. that overtime, LeBron checked the fuck out. He knew Golden State was gonna steamroll that game one after anything is possible. I know we're fixing to touch on that with JR. But yeah, it's painful to watch. That video was really painful to watch.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, to go ahead and segue right along, fellas. So we're at this point, at the time of this recording, we are 2 games in. LeBron and the Cavaliers are.
Actually, the correct word would be 2 games out because its series is pretty much over, right?
That's what they said in Boston.
Damn, David.
That's what they said in Boston.
This ain't Boston.
LeBron said,
in any case,
long live the king.
The Warriors lead the series 2-0. The series is shifting to Cleveland. Now, despite the fact that, they're looking at a 2-0 hole, there's been a pretty decent amount of storylines for these first 2 games. Obviously, the J.R. Smith blunder has been a huge thing, has revitalized the meme community and the internet because they have been tearing that image of LeBron with his arms out and JR looking completely dazed. They've been tearing that apart. JR, he went full on anything as possible. They've been letting him have it. You also have the issue of officiating. Now, I found myself getting into it with a buddy of mine about how in game 2, the Warriors had 10 more calls called on them than the Cavaliers. Yet, because of the whole no charge issue from game 1, whether or not officiating is completely biased has become a storyline as well. And then, of course, you have Tristan Thompson, the snitch extraordinaire, the storyteller, the bean spiller, getting into it with our bouncer, our muscle, Draymond Green.
The groin reaper.
The alleged ball kicker. I say alleged because I'm letting a little bit of my bias show there. How do we feel about all this, guys? Let's start. Let's start with Brandon.
You'll start with
okay. So game 1, Pat, you said it best in our thread. I had about 5 different heart attacks in game 1. With JR, the biggest takeaway. Okay, so aside from the JR memes, they're funny as shit. The biggest takeaway I have in all this is if it's possible, I hate Lou that much damn more now. JR literally got off of a interview, the post-game conference, and said, I thought it was tied. I was trying to create space, separation. I passed the ball over to George so that way he could try to make it. And then fucking Lou came in right after that and sit there and said, no, he thought the game was tied, or he thought that they were up. You just discredited the fuck out of JR. Would you have no business in there?
JR kind of discredited himself, though.
He did it afterwards. Even before game 2, he sit there and came up and said, no, I thought we were tied. I thought we were up. I don't know what I was thinking. So, but to go back and forth like that, the best thing I've seen from all of this, the absolute best thing was the video that somebody on this panel decided to share this afternoon, where it shows that a minute and 25 seconds into it, LeBron's sitting on the sideline, and when he realizes that there was a fucking timeout, he's screaming at Lou. He's screaming at JR.
I didn't see him scream. He got quiet. Like he shut down. Like he asked,
said, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
No, I heard him say, "Did we have a timeout?" And then Ty Lue says, "Yes." And then you could just see LeBron like it's that conversation like when you're riding with your lady and your lady says something you don't like and you just stare out the window like the whole ride. Like he's just like at that point like he was done.
Yeah, we know he's out. It's plain and simple. He's gone. I had my suspicions, but after fucking game 1, and then last night putting up 50% of the offense as far as the boards with fucking assists, and the rest of the team's not doing anything. It's fucking ridiculous. And Tristan Thompson, I love it. Okay, the elbow was bullshit game one. I'll call it. That was not an elbow at Livingston. They shouldn't have ejected his ass. But what I love about Tristan Thompson was last night's post-game conference when they asked, is Curry just that unguardable? And he said, the fuck is this? And walk the fuck out. That was beautiful.
Oof. David, what are your I know you have many sentiments, but go ahead and share
there's so much to get to. Like, I don't even know where to begin. LeBron picked this squad, okay? And it's his fault. It's his fault that the starting shooting guard didn't know the fucking score of the game. Look up. That's on you. That is worse than Chris Webber.
What was it I said the other day, David? It was like LeBron's playing cards, and he said, I have these 4. Let me trade these in and just bring them.
Yes. Second of all, that was the game. That was the series. When there has to have a perfect storm to beat Golden State if you're Cleveland. 2 of the big 3 have to shoot like shit. You have to have LeBron go completely monstrous. And you have to get some fortunate calls. And LeBron drops 51. Okay. Clay and KD shoot like 7 of 30. Right? Steph is kind of in check. And you lose. But not just Golden State buzzer beater or you missed a shot. A complete psychological meltdown. I don't know how they look at J.R. Smith and go, what is wrong with you? Like, this,
this isn't the first time this has happened with JR.
But it's the first time in the finals. I'm sorry. If you are Ty Lue, there's 3 things you have to let the players know at all times. How many timeouts we have, the situation, and the score. He didn't know all 3. Like, I said it before the series started that Steph and Clay don't have to play any defense. I said it. Nobody believed 100%. Me. And so what is this? I even bring props. I bring fucking props.
It's done.
Curry's going to get MVP. It doesn't matter. They can adjust the lineup. When you replace Kyrie with George Hill and J.R. Smith, that is what you get. Oh, by the way, Iguodala is apparently pain-free the last couple days. He should be ready to go on Wednesday, I believe. So, good luck. I don't know. Okay, so I've been watching basketball for, mid-90s. The one thing that makes Golden State different is not how they score, it's the barrage they score. Like, it's almost like a knockout punch. Like, when you get down to 7 and a turnover, a long rebound, and you look up and now it's 12 or 13, and Curry's shooting fucking 33-footers, and you got folks on the Cleveland bench just going, I don't know what to do. Like, there ain't shit you can do.
Roy?
No, because
I'm not counting. I refuse to count LeBron out.
You're gonna fall on that fucking sword when fucking July 4th he leaves.
I mean, I'm not counting LeBron out. JR absolutely should have known the situation. It's not just a fail on JR's part. Ty Lue's got to call a timeout there when he gets a rebound.
Absolutely,
call fucking timeout. And that video that today that came out proves that Ty Lue knew they had a timeout. Call timeout as soon as you know he has it. As soon as he rebounds it and takes 2 steps, call timeout. You've got 3 seconds left. That's more than enough time.
Steps. That was the worst. He took 5 steps to get outside.
No, I'm not saying at the end of JR's fucking marathon there. I'm saying as soon as you know he clearly has the rebound, call timeout. You've still got 3 seconds.
No. But I'm saying that's what made it even worse for Ty Lue, because he sat there and he knew he had the rebound and watched him run away with it and never called it.
Even if LeBron is gone, which everyone seems so convinced that he's leaving, even if LeBron is gone, Lue's not coming back. Smith is
doesn't matter.
Back.
No, they have to. They have to eat Smith's contract.
Why do they have to? Lou Aldridge signed a fucking $30 million contract with the Lakers. If he can be moved, anybody can be moved.
But it's the expiring
Yeah, like
contract.
LeBron.
It's a little bit different for 12 mil.
The Lakers didn't. That wasn't expiring. They signed his ass.
Well,
He signed a $30 million deal. If he can be,
that's because there was a cap floor.
Somebody will take JR.
I mean, if you're Cleveland and when LeBron leaves, it doesn't matter. You might as well become an expansion team. Like it doesn't.
I mean, I'll stand by my as I've said all year that I don't know that. I mean, you're convinced he's going to LA. I'm not.
LA, 100%.
But as far as game 1 and game 2 go, the reason game 2 happened the way it did is because game 1 was too close for comfort for Golden State, so they came out with their foot on the gas. At Golden State fans, I would say Golden State fans know that occasionally Golden State comes out and they're complacent, they're sloppy with the ball. That's what happened in game 1. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens in game 3. I would not be surprised if it happens in game 3 and Cleveland comes out and steals 1 in Cleveland, and then Cleveland gets a little momentum. They could maybe take game 2 or game 4, excuse me. Series
to elaborate on that particular point a little bit more in depth, and this is something Dave and I have talked about a lot over the last few days. I understand how it comes off to a lot of people in other parts of the country outside of California, outside of the Bay Area, because Golden State games being nationally televised really is a phenomenon maybe within the last 2.5 years. But when you're someone like me who's been watching the crux of this team slowly but surely get to where they at, 2012, 2013, 2014, we actually finally break through and are making a serious push towards what ultimately was a title. And when you're not, and I'm not bashing that contingency, but I'm just keeping it real. When you're not a casual fan and you're like me and you come home on Tuesday and Thursday nights every week and watch regular season meaningless games against Memphis, you notice the nuance, you notice all the little habits. With that being said, yeah, JR did make a blunder, but he actually did do the hard part of grabbing the offensive board off of a free throw.
Are you kidding me?
Hold on. The Warriors, to a small extent, got lucky after allowing a pretty major lapse in focus and fundamentals by not boxing out in a critical moment. If he fucking drains or whatever, instead of, like I said, going full on anything as possible and not knowing what the fuck the situation is, the next day our conversation is completely different. What my hope as a fan is that, yeah, should we win decisively, top to bottom? Absolutely. But I hope to hell that the Warriors don't get into their bad habit of getting a little bit loose and a little bit lax and a little bit cocky. And next thing you know, one thing leads to another, because we've literally seen it happen before. Yes, I understand the rosters are different. Yes, I understand the situation is different. But after the emotional distress of watching 3-1 happen, I can't allow myself to get overzealous prematurely.
I mean, and KD has had a few games this postseason where he's just disappeared in the fourth.
7.
And I mean, and the game 1, KD disappeared in the fourth. J.R. Smith, didn't he get that rebound over Draymond and KD?
Oh, it was KD who didn't box out.
So, I mean,
yeah. Who is what, 6 inches taller than him?
Yeah, JR is like 6'4", 6'5". So I mean, but
why do you think that happens? Why do you think they become so complacent?
I think it's a combination of things. I think it's the fact that, personalities, the overall culture of a team, the fact that you have a coach in Steve Kerr who the majority of the time really doesn't have to chew their asses out about shit. It's a slight, they're on the West Coast in the Bay Area. It's just a more laid back culture and approach in general.
And could it be point, because they have a over, I don't know, like they're oozing talent and they know it, and that's why the third quarter they're like, I guess we have to try. Let us drop 40.
That's kind of where you're saying about the barrage. I get it, David, because we saw it against Houston in Game 5, Game 6. 5 they didn't win it. 6 they did. 7 they did. And Game 1, Cavaliers kept it right there at them. And then when they got to overtime, you saw it. Just shot after shot after shot after shot. And you had LeBron, he's looking like, where the hell is the rest of my team? And he's making errant shots because he's trying to at least force something in there.
And he's tired at that point.
Yeah, he was exhausted.
He played the entire game up to that point. I mean,
yeah.
That's the story. With, I mean, it's partly we're just talented enough we can turn it on and off. At this point, I mean, this is the fourth straight appearance in the championship game. You're starting to get a little complacent. You're like, well, shit, this just be another one. I mean, I think it's a combination of it. They maybe losing a little bit of that hunger because I mean that first year they won it, everyone was new, hungry team, and in the second year it was like, oh, we're 73-9, we're gonna cakewalk through this shit, and then LeBron comes back from 3-1, and then last year
untucked Kyrie.
So what? Okay.
Untucked Kyrie, the jersey.
That was last year. Last year, 2 years
and
ago.
then. Last year, you get KD on that Golden State team who kind of revitalizes that hunger because he's coming after his first one. KD becomes MVP from just lighting shit up, and now this year that's why I'm not the broom. I believe you can put that shit back in the closet because I think they're gonna take at least one. I don't foresee it to be a sweep. I know Kyrie's not coming through the door. I know this is a more talented team. Golden State's clearly more talented. Boston was clearly more talented. Boston, from top to bottom, if you take LeBron off the Cavs, is head and shoulders above Cleveland.
But the issue is LeBron. Like, LeBron is that dude.
I mean,
unfortunately, he can't beat 4 Hall of Famers. You think Draymond gets 4? There? When it's all said and done.
All said and done, I think Draymond will legitimately have the credentials. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not the voters decide they want to be progressive or whether or not they want to have a bug up their ass because Draymond's kind of an asshole.
So either way, 3?
It's that simple.
3 Hall of Famers?
Are we putting Clay there already?
I mean, just take what they're doing now and spread it. Like, they're the best duo backcourt ever.
Wasn't it like 2 years ago? Wasn't it like 2 or 3 years ago they were talking about trading Clay? Wasn't there a legit deal in place a couple years ago?
Ironically, for Kevin Love.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
so, I mean, Clay's coming. Oh, my God. Someone's coming up for a deal quick. Someone is coming up for a deal. Someone is not. They're not going to be able to afford to keep everybody. So what Clay does once he leaves, let's see. Right now, yes, Curry, KD, definitely. Clay, let's see. Right now, he's making a solid case. Dre, I mean,
he's going to win maybe 2 or 3 more Defensive Player of the Year awards?
Because nobody plays fucking defense anymore.
I mean, he's first team all defense. I mean, he's pretty much Rodman with ball handling skills.
Yep, just without the hair.
I mean, but the attitude.
Yeah, it's like all fans, we are just gonna have to sit here and speculate until we watch it all play out. Game 3, I believe, is on Wednesday coming up.
Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, and then Game 4 is going to be following up on Friday. So we will see how it all shakes out. And
then I don't know what I'm going to watch anymore.
In the coming off-season, trust and believe we are going to have a lot of coverage and a lot of discussion about whatever happens.
LaRock is going to watch Tom Brady's scouting video, like his combine video, playing with like Kenny G in the background with some candles lit.
I mean, I do have a nice DVD collection. I have a couple Super Bowls that are on loop.
The pages stick together.
Don't hate.
Oh, God.
As long as 51's not in there, we'll be good.
All right, gents. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up for this week's edition. Do we have any shout-outs?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, David, go ahead, because you typically are not super enthusiastic about the shout-outs. So I'm curious to what's going on here.
Zach, the third party of Cover 3, Fantasy Football Pod with Brandon. Working on some big shit coming. Logos are coming up. We'll get really started. We'll probably run a demo here maybe in a couple weeks, get everything going. And then when shit really gets started, it's going to be in different episodes and parts because I know you guys don't have a lot of attention span. So we're going to break it down into draft strategy and then just break it down into quarterbacks and then positions. So it's not going to be one long episode. So if you already have your quarterbacks nailed, you can just go ahead and skip that video. And then we'll have different videos for different things. And obviously, questions, comments, answers, whatever. It'll be much more community-based. And I'm sure, people will be like, oh, but you said he was going to be really good. That sort of shit.
Okay.
But, yeah, it'll be good.
Looking forward to that, man. I'm going to be promoting that pretty heavily on the YouTube channel to kind of get people in the mindset of being ready for that type of content. And, when it rolls out, it's going to be a lot of fun. Brandon?
So, shout out to Geeks and Gamers, shout out to Sports Wars, shout out to our group, Cover 3. But I'm going to step back a minute. So, this is where the bias is going to come in. Shout out to Kendrick Perkins. You big bitch son of a motherfucker. You want to pick on the littlest fucking dude on the fucking court. You weren't running your mouth in Boston. You ran your mouth to Drake, but we know Drake ain't gonna do nothing in fucking Toronto. But you run your mouth to fucking Steph Curry. And then you're gonna be like, no, I wasn't trying to trip him. Bitch, get the fuck out of here.
Ooh.
You just picked on the littlest dude on the court. That would be like Shaq picking up IT by his arm. Literally. Just come here, little buddy.
Brandon, how much do you want to bet that Kendrick Perkins is driving around the Bay Area right now bumping that Pusha T Drake diss track?
Oh, God. Yes. So
the energy is there.
It is. My funniest thing about all of this is Jose Calderon has seen more minutes than you in these finals. And hell, in the playoffs, for that damn matter. And you're going to sit there and run your mouth to fucking Curry, who is hitting threes left and right.
I mean, Perkins learned to be a tough guy from Kevin Garnett.
Fuck down in your own world.
I mean, Perkins learned to be a tough guy from Kevin Garnett. So, I mean, I don't think it's...
Yeah, because we all know Garnett is just the fucking definitive example of
Kevin Garnett is the vanilla ice of tough guys.
Oh my God.
I mean, they're both terrible. They had that fake tough guy thing oozing in Boston, and it just like
and every one of those guys is still butthurt about Ray Allen.
Roy, somebody watched The Departed one too many times.
Yeah, your shout-outs, Roy.
I'm not going to let it be. Shout out to J.R. Smith and Tyronn Lue. Buy your bus tickets out of Cleveland now. LeBron has a better chance of staying in Cleveland than those two. And JR, I'm sure the G League would be an interesting possibility. Johnny Manziel just started in the CFL, so they may trade his ass to the CFL after this bullshit. Tyronn Lue, what kind of head coach doesn't know how many timeouts you have? I'm just disgusted.
Yeah, it's
I'm just disgusted.
I got a small handful of things I want to point out because it's been a while. It's been a while. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the entirety of the Houston Rockets fan base, including the Houston radio personality Adam Clanton, who talks about how Oakland is the lesser bitch of a city in the Bay that has less championships and this, that, and the third. Yeah, well, guess what, fucker? The best team on the face of the fucking planet with regard to basketball has been based in the city of Oakland for over 40 years, and they're more than likely about to bring in number 3 in 4 seasons. That's number one. Shout out number 2, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the 2 drunk broads at that club in New York City who had Tristan Thompson all distracted and enamored, which eventually led to him breaking the G code about what happens on the road with NBA players, because it's just one more bullshit thing for the Cavaliers locker room to be distracted by as we're faced against them. Because damn it, like LeBron said, like David says, when you're going up against LeBron and going up against the man, I'll take whatever I can get. Yes, I'm that petulant. And last but not least, shout out to Chucky himself. Shout out to John Gruden. Because damn it, I am trying to be as optimistic as possible with this roster overhaul. I know he's been out of the game for a minute, but I got to take what I can get. When you hit what's close to rock bottom, the only place to go is up. And my final shout out is to hashtag smoke and mirrors. David's hashtag smoke and mirrors, because I believe it will apply to this next iteration of the Kansas City Chiefs just as much, if not more, than last year. Your defense is going to be trash, Raider Nation. That's all we got, folks. Catch us on YouTube, catch us on iTunes, and we will catch you all later. Peace.
Also, fuck Tom Brady.